Hello, the oil price of the Brent is in the range between $70 and $75 a barrel. It used to be below this level since the beginning of the year, close to $65. What can explain this spike in the oil price? Three elements. First, sanctions on Russia. When you look at the time series of the oil price since the beginning of the year, you see that there is a change in dynamics after April the 6th. This is a moment where the US has taken sanctions on Russia. You can add potential sanctions on Iran or things like that. But you see a change in the momentum of the oil price after this date. The second point is associated with Venezuela. When you look at Venezuela, it has huge reserves of oil. It's the country that has the largest reserve on the world, higher than what can be seen in Saudi Arabia. And since the beginning of the year, what we see is that the oil production in Venezuela is dropping dramatically. During the last 6 months, the oil production in Venezuela has dropped by 23%, and it will continue because it's very complicated now for Venezuela to fund its investment, and because China, because Russia do not want to fund them anymore, and we have election on May the 20th, and it could give the way to sanction from the US due to irregularities. So we have to be very attentive to what's happening in Venezuela, this country that has the largest reserves in the world. Third, there is still a strong momentum on demand due to strong growth at the global level. What we've seen is that production has adjusted on the top. When we look at the US production, inventories dropped dramatically since the beginning of the year, and clearly shows that demand is strong. So three elements to explain this movement on price: Russia, Venezuela, and demand. So what could be the consequences of that? First, probably if the price remains at close to $75, a small marginal spike on inflation everywhere due to the fact that price is clearly above what was seen a year ago. That's the first point. The second point is to notice if this movement will be temporary or permanent. We think that it will be temporary for one single reason, is that Saudi Arabia can still increase its production. So it will not accept that price could go too high at this moment. So if the movement is temporary, central banks do not have to change their strategy on monetary policy. And the third point is to see if there will be a contagion from oil price, energy prices to the rest of the economy. We remember that in 2013, 2014, when the oil price was very high, above $100 a barrel, there was no contagion. So it will be important to see if we have the same scheme at this moment. So three elements: Russia, Venezuela, demand, and three consequences: a little more inflation, a transitory effect, and a small risk of contagion on the rest of the economy. Thank you.